Hey, thanks for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. I'll be opening the stream here in just a few minutes. Just finishing a few things up. Be working on the retro game jam. What's up, Wicked? Thanks again, Bruno. Play game for fun. Good to see ya. I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, here we are. I don't believe Rex is going to be joining us today because it's a little later. Ooh, switch my keyboards around. It's yeah, I wanted to make missile command. So it's a missile command clone. I got a really big project at work, so I kind of got distracted with this. And I haven't been able to work on it, so I was just like in the middle of something here. In the middle of the rules, which is like the tutorials. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but yeah, it's like a top-down perspective. We're actually starting to work on the art. But you can move around the reticle. I don't have a lot of stuff getting shot at the moment. But yeah, the whole point is to shoot at these things. And you get to shoot 10 missiles from each one. So it's like this. Pew, 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 pew. And then it runs out of ammo. And so you get 30 missiles per level. And if your 6 cities at the bottom blow up, then the game's over. Why can't I tab out of it? Weird. Fingers crossed. but it's okay if it doesn't do good. So what should we do today on this? Probably just keep working through the tutorial. Alright, so I'm at the point in the tutorial where I'm just like trying to teach people about what these missiles are. And so, boop, 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 boop. So I was gonna just build like dialogue. I was thinking about having like a character that would teach you during the tutorial. And send like some missiles just straight down at the cities that do stuff. That do stuff, what I mean is like, because in missile command it like splits off into other missiles. So I'd like to work on that a little bit today. We could start working on what it means to push play game. And just kind of leave the tutorial because that's boring. Alright, let's instead work on what happens when we push play game. So play game is left mouse button. You're also going to be able to just push left mouse button in the tutorial is the idea. And so once you do that, what happens? We can start working on that today. So I'm pretty sure I can just like ignore the rules for now then, if we're not even going to go ahead and activate them. And if I hop up in the rules, you can see on this board up here is where I give access. It's on the high end, so it's going to be a little laggy in here. This is where we're giving control to 1 through 0 on the keyboard. Left mouse, middle mouse, right mouse. So on the left click, we're saying left down check, left up check. And on the right, right down check, right up check. So left down check is what I'm going to use to start the game. I have some variables built in here. So the buttons only work when I want them to for certain parts. So I've started working on the rules. So right down check. And I just have the same message going through for both of these right now. And I just did this in case I wanted. That starts on false, in case I wanted the buttons to act differently during the tutorial or during the game. Game start true false, which also starts as false. So I'm using this. False message. Right? Yeah. So I guess let's create a new board for left mouse button false. Just keep everything as separated as possible. So when we do the right false, then the rules are going to get set to true. So that it won't go ahead and go on to send rule 0 message. So this isn't going to work for this for sure. I need to do some thinking about this, but we'll turn that off for now. The mouse buttons are doing extra things, so they're in the tutorial and the menu, so I have to take extra precautions with them. So what I'm just going to do here to try to wrap my head around it is make a, let's call it like the, sorry, remember what it is later. Mouse title mouse title control. So control of the mouse for the title screen. And it starts at true because that's how the game starts. And so instead of using these messages, no. Instead of using these messages, it's going to be like, we'll just need a left down check and it'll check the mouse title control. Left down check when it's true, left down. I don't know. Left down, and then it's like the first title screen or whatever, and I'll just put 0 in case I need to make more. Left down, title 0, true. And so that's going to be same with this. We don't want these. None. Only want it if it's true. Wait. Yeah, I still need these messages here. Middle dot down dot check dot false. I'm not using middle for anything right now. Right down. There we go. Thinking through. If these are true, we have the up and the down, so I don't need the falses. I don't care if they're false. I only want to know when it's true. So actually, yeah, I can get rid of the falses. So right down check mouse control right. What'd I say? Right down title 0 true. And I can get rid of these falses, I'm pretty sure. I don't do any, well, I am going to do something with the middle mouse eventually. So let's just go ahead and do middle mouse 2 for futures. So this is going to be middle down check. Middle down check. Middle down title dot 0 dot true. All right, so I can think about that later, but now I know that I want to use this instead. So let's go back to right mouse button false. Okay, so let's think through this. If I get the right down title 0 true one that we just did, then I want the tutorial to start. So rules true, that's gonna happen. And then we're gonna do something with mouse control at some point. I'm not sure exactly how it's all gonna work. But let's say at that point, it would get turned off. So where do we get the rules message from now? Well, we're going to turn this off. I don't know. It gets tricky because I want people to be able to change their key bindings. So if you think that you could think of a better way to use the buttons, then you can just change the key bindings. So I want left mouse, right mouse, and middle mouse to be able to be programmed into, like, if you want them to shoot certain missile turrets, or even if you want them to move you around, you could do that. So the rules just gets really tricky. How do I want to do this? Well, the way I'm doing it right here, I would probably just go ahead and use this message to also start the rules the way it's set up. But I'm just going to unplug this for now. But let's hop over to the left mouse where things are going to be more fun. So when we do that, though, we want our game to start. So we're going to turn game start to true. Left, down. Title 0 true. And we're going to turn the mouse title control off. So this essentially is the game start button, or game start message. Just in case I want to use something else, I'm going to pass it through. Or these things need to change because I'm not thinking of something, which I'm definitely probably missing something here. But when we hear left dot down dot title, I'm going to send game start to everything. So for sure we need to turn the HUD off. This is happening with actor property switchers. Rule 0 is turning it off. We're also going to turn it off with start game. Alright, I know it's been boring so far, but we're hopefully getting into more fun stuff here. ERA! Your favorite Fred and Fred in the whole wide world is doing really good today. How's my favorite escape room artist doing? Let's give it a save. See if this stuff disappears and see if I overlooked anything. So, we're here. We do have control of our avatar. We're stuck in a box. We can jump. Left mouse click. Did absolutely nothing. Left mouse click. can't tab out right now. Why? Just gonna go back in here. My work is also stressful right now because my boss dropped a ginormous job on me. And I usually don't have anything to do in December. I'm like, don't you understand I'm trying to get a game jam done? uh, Dude, why can't I tab out? What's going on? Is my keyboard broke? Luckily they added this little gem right here. Start.game, message required. We're talking to this stuff. Rule zeros, we'll turn it off before. Alright, getting back into boring stuff here. On player join me, got a left down check here. It's looking good. Left down check ain't saying nothing. Because these all need to be true. Left down check. Mouse title control should be started as true. And when it's true, we want left down title 0 true. Game start. Left down 0 true turns itself off and turns game start on. It shouldn't be able to turn itself off and not get the message. That never works, but let's test it out. And then we've got the message being passed on to here, which if I click this on, oh yeah, you can't because it's not here, but message to send game start to all. Game start. Specific tags, we're looking at menu. This all has the menu tag. Right mouse button also isn't working. Oh, I unplugged that, I forgot. I can shoot. Something weird is afoot. Let's try to use this bunny hop, or try to get rid of this bunny hop thing. And just use left down. Title 0 true. Why would that not send the message back down to that? Is it because Not being able to tab out pissing me off. So I've never worked on a single player experience since the big change. Why can't I bunny hop this down here? So let's just change it back to start game. I have a funny feeling about this. The left click is working though. I'm not going crazy, right? GameMaker just like gaslights me all day, dude. Like, if this works, I'm gonna be pissed. So left down title 0 true. Message to send game start. Player needed. Because it's player needed message. Because it's a player needed message and I skipped the link. I skipped a link. That's so confusing. How would people understand that? That's why it's nice to use a multiplayer game as a single player, because you can use, but it's not possible anymore. But it's nice because you can use global variables and you can make things like this happen without player needed messages. So you're telling me that I have to have a player needed message for me to jump that over and send game start? Now this isn't going to work because it's not player needed message. I don't know how you would understand that. But if I make sure to use the player needed action, it's so dumb that has to be a player needed action in a single player experience. Who else is going to do it? You're in a single player experience. Oh. So once the game starts, I need to build in like basically a missile command. You shoot the same amount of missiles every single time during the level, I'm pretty sure. So like level 1 is 15 missiles. So we need to figure out a way to count 15. Actually, Everything's global too, right? I was just thinking maybe I made a mistake. Everything's global. This might really complicate things. To try to get people's scores and... Am I gonna have to like spawn trigger volumes next to the player constantly the whole time? Just like constantly spawning little trigger volumes that plant themselves so that I can get player needed messages on a single player experience. I really hope not. So I want to build a RNG system. Basically, I don't want the exact same thing to happen every time when you shoot this 15 missiles, so I need there to be some sort of RNG. And also, the missiles need to randomly be able to split into other missiles. And I'm pretty sure that the classic missile command game counts those missiles. So like if a missile shoots down and then it splits into 5, then that would be 6 missiles. Also, if you have like a bomber or something flying across the screen and it shoots a missile, or a killer satellite move across the screen and it shoots a missile, that'll count towards your missile limit. So I think it would be really cool if any missile were able to separate into multiple missiles, and that missiles can pretty much come in from any direction because it's RNG. I've already demonstrated how it's going to work, which I can turn that back on, I guess, to demonstrate it. I've really gotten to a spot that's pretty complicated. And I've taken a couple of days off working on it. It's kind of hard to get back in the swing of things here, but I have an asset spawner right here. Launch missile 0. So if I turn this message broadcaster, launch missile 0, we're going to broadcast forever, and we'll say every 5 seconds to keep it a little. Actually, we'll say just for now every like 9 seconds. I also need to turn the thing on. Right alt. So let's actually do this every 5 seconds. And there's a platform here that I want to turn on. Also, I think I turned this platform off too. And these are going to get turned on when the game starts. So these are things that I'm going to be turning on here shortly with the menu. Why is it not launching? Let's move this down a little bit so we can actually see it in the game. Make sure this is close enough. Forever, 5 seconds, launch missile 0. Everybody in range. Did I... also toggle off the asset spawner? Oh, I bet you it's because it's leaving this and I can't reach it. No, I did not toggle off the asset spawner. There we go. I don't have a reticle. So there's a asset spawner in the middle of the map that I'm going to use to spawn reticles here. So for now, we're going to say left down title 0 true. There we go. There it is. These missiles are moving pretty quick. But that's how basically it works. So I would like a missile launcher to be moving that way at the first level. So 2 missile launchers to be moving opposite directions. I don't think the platform on the bottom is moving. Or maybe it is. Yeah, because the arrow's looking at it. It just kept shooting at the same spot. But yeah, you can't just have the same one shooting every single time, so I want to create some places where I can shoot from. I want all the missiles to be able to split into other missiles. And that's pretty much the first level. Create a system that counts to 15 missiles being spawned and then ends the level after you blow them up. And hopefully we can figure out a way to give points to people without having player needed messages. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what we're going to do here. Really not sure what I would do. If I need to make player need... Actually, well, I know what I'd have to do. I'd have to make a bunch of presets. And I'd have to spawn trigger volumes that plant themselves next to the avatar every single time I need something to happen. So we need to build a system that counts the cities on the play game side. On the play game side, we need to build a system that like counts all the points at the end of each level and starts up a next level. I would like to build it so that it just like keeps on going forever. So just need to build some sort of system that keeps increasing, like makes the RNG happen faster, or like at some point there's just going to be like, you know, the missiles are as fast as they are, and but stuff just spawns faster. It's inevitable that you'll lose all 6 cities. Nothing happens right now, but yeah, this would be, if you hit this, once this one gets gone, then it would be game over, final score, go back to the title screen. Best place to start. Also, that's not turning off. A bunch of reticles. That's hilarious. Hmm. Oh, because I changed it back while I was testing. I forgot to change it back over. Since we spawn the player in when we do the reticle, they can be in the wrong spot, so the reticle seems like it's broken. So what I want to do... Now, gotta use a player message for an avatar teleportation. That makes sense. A global variable? I'm not sure about that. So I want to make sure that we teleport when we get the left down title, so that we're right in the middle and we don't mess up the so if I like run up here, left click, I teleport it, now the reticle will move up. It's still kind of goofy when you first start moving it. But yeah, I built a system so you can also use WASDA to move the reticle around, which is what probably most people will use. And then you can also move it around with 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is super awkward. Why Sandbox doesn't just give us access to the arrows on the keyboard? That would be a great update. Or just give us all the keys on the keyboard. That'd be an even better update. So let's do some experiments. I'm going to take this enemy missile platform here and duplicate it. Put it on the other side over here. And I have to change the platform though, obviously. Go -48 instead. And then this one. If they're looking at the same thing, they'll always be shooting across from each other, right? That might be good. Wish I could... I guess I could use an advanced platform to have it start in the middle. Let's just see what this looks like, I guess. Yeah, just both of you shooting constant missiles. So yeah, it is pretty much, they kind of shoot at the same spot. Which makes sense. They're aimed at the same target. If I take this bad boy, duplicate it, put it over here, change this to negative. Just wondering, will they get confused? Look, oh, they both seem to always do the same thing, though. There we got them looking. Oh, I guess they're doing the same thing inverted. And then in the middle, they do the exact same thing. Okay. So let's do this. Let's have this tag be the 0 and this tag be the target 0.1. And this one looking this way, we'll have this one looking this way. So this is your speaker here. Target 1. See how this is looking. I'm really not sure what the best thing to do is going to be. Might be best to just like set up a bunch of different cannons. Let's have that one go 20 and this one go 10 to try to change things up a little bit. So these ones look a little similar because it's getting called out every 5 seconds. When I build the RNG, there'll be like a random time generator, and also you won't know which side of the direction it's coming from. We might have to have a few more launchers up there. I don't want to get too crazy. And then each of these missiles I want to have a chance to split into other missiles. Am I going to have to build it into its own preset and just like launch those separately, or can every single missile have the ability? Actually, I don't think every missile can have the ability, because then if the RNG goes off, then it wouldn't know which one to talk to. And it would talk to all of them. I'm not sure, but we're getting there. We didn't get a ton done today, but I appreciate everybody hanging out. We got a lot of work left to do on Missile Command, but this will be... I'm excited for this one to see what comes of it. I'm excited to play it at the end. See how good I can do. It's like just a cooler version of Gary the Legend Nobody Asked For, which was also a super fun game, but this one's a Missile Command clone, so it has a little more structure. Anywho, appreciate everybody hanging out a ton. Oh, that's nice, ERA. I appreciate you hanging out. Hope everybody has an amazing day. Mad Maddie's having a 12-hour stream today. Well, let me check, make sure nobody else is streaming. All right, everybody, have a good day. I'll be back tomorrow. Probably Roxy will be here, so it'll be more fun. Talk to you later.